Hi guys, so today I'm going to do the 13 questions tag. I just actually finished filming this makeup tutorial and I thought since I have a bit of time right now I'd do this tag. If you do want to see the tutorial for this makeup, I will link it below and it should be probably up on my beauty channel by the time I upload this video. So let's go ahead with the questions. The first question is, what do I order at Starbucks? I don't really go to Starbucks as much here in Europe. Starbucks isn't as widespread as in North America where there's like a Starbucks on every corner. There is a Starbucks, but it's not actually in like very close to where I live. But I guess if I go to Starbucks, either I'll have just like a regular coffee. I know that's like really boring, but that's just what I like. I just like normal coffee. And in the summer, I definitely like their Frappuccinos. So that's perfect. That's pretty much my summer treat. If I do go to Starbucks, I like their fraps. Okay, the second question is, what's one thing in your closet that you cannot live without? This is kind of strange because obviously the most things that I would wear are like jeans, underwear, socks, like those things are all things you can't really live without. But if I had to go sort of for a more novelty item, I think I'd go with blazers because I like to wear those a lot instead of a jacket. It looks a bit more formal, but it can also kind of just dress up a plain outfit, so I'll probably have to go with blazers in general. Question 3 is, what's one thing that most people probably won't know about you? I went traveling to Asia when I was 19 or 20 years old, and I traveled to Asia by myself for almost a year, and it was a really cool long trip. It was all overland. I started in Turkey, I started in Istanbul, and I traveled all the way across the whole continent of Asia, going through Iran, Pakistan, India, and then to Nepal. I went to Southeast Asia, like Thailand, and traveled around. So it was a really long trip and I went by myself. I was still very young and I have such amazing memories from that trip. It was probably my favorite like trip that I ever went on because it was so long, and it was because I was by myself. It really helped me to learn how to be independent, and traveling by yourself is such a different experience because you meet so many new people and you meet a lot of locals. Well, I met a lot of local people and really got to know the culture very well. The question 4 is, name one thing that you want to do before you die. I really would love to do something like extreme sport, like either skydiving or paragliding or something like that. I almost did it once when I was on holiday, but then I don't know, for some reason I didn't. But I think maybe next time I'm gonna go on holiday, I'd love to go like paragliding or something like that, because I think it's such an amazing experience, and I love, like, I'm a total adrenaline. I love that adrenaline rush. So I think that's something that I would really love to do. Next question is, what's one food that you cannot live without? I could probably mention a bunch of things, but probably the one food that I cannot live without is bread. And I know that sounds really boring, but since doing all like low carb and just eating healthy and eating, you know, trying to really watch what I eat, I noticed that I probably miss bread the most. I still do eat it. When I do buy bread and eat bread, I tend to buy something really healthy, like whole grain, you know, none of that white processed bread. But I just love bread, and here in Europe there's so many different varieties and I just love it. I love like really crusty breads, like really freshly baked. So I think that's probably one thing that I can't live without. Okay, the question number 6 is, what quote or phrase do you live your life by? Now, I'm not a huge person who like lives by certain mottos, but this is a quote that I read like, this is a really famous quote. Now, the quote that I probably pick is by Oscar Wilde, and he wrote, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." And I think that is such a cool quote because it's so simple, you know, be yourself, but that can mean so many different things. And I think that's something that I definitely live my life by. You know, don't worry about what other people think about you. There's always gonna be people who don't like you or who don't think that you are as awesome as you really truly are. So just be yourself. Don't try to put on a facade to please other people. Just really do what you want with your life. And I think that's just, you know, really basic general advice, but I think it's something that I definitely try to live by, I guess. Okay, the next question is, what do you like and dislike about the YouTube community? Well, I think definitely the positive side far outweighs like any negative parts to it. I love the fact that I can, you know, that my videos have reached so many people, like having this huge audience, and like, you know, I never thought that that would be possible, that, you know, putting on makeup or doing whatever I do, that so many people would be interested in that. And I think that's something that is, to me, the most amazing thing. And I get so many amazing messages from my subscribers and my viewers saying that, oh, you know, like my video has touched them or has helped them in some way, making them feel better about themselves and learning a bunch of new tricks and stuff. So I think that for me is the most positive aspect of being able to connect with people who are like-minded, who have the same interests and stuff. And what do I dislike about it? I think I'd be really hard pressed to find things. I mean, you can always nitpick and focus on the little things, but I personally just choose to disregard it as best as I can, because like I said, not everyone's gonna like you, and that's just how it is. So of course sometimes like mean comments and stuff can get under your skin, but I think since I've been doing this so long, I've kind of grown a thicker skin and have just kind of learned to ignore it for the most part. Okay, the next question is, what's your #1 most listened to song on iTunes? I don't really use iTunes a whole lot, so probably it wouldn't really be accurate. Question 9 is, what kind of style would you define yourself as having? I'm very like casual, like most of the time I walk around with very casual clothes. I don't really get dressed up all too often, but when I do go out, or if I'm meeting with friends or going out to do something or invited somewhere, I definitely do like to put on a little bit of glam clothes, but not something like, I don't like to spend a ton of money on that stuff, so it's always fun to find like cool things for a low cost. And I think that's something that's kind of been reflected in my outfit of the day videos, a few that I've done. Like, I'm just very like low key, but I like to find like funky accessories. Like I really like, you know, nice earrings, or like a cool belt, or a cool purse, or shoes, or whatever. So I kind of like to glam up my outfits, I guess, in that way. Number 10 is my favorite number. I don't really have a favorite number, to be honest, so I'll have to skip that question. The next question is 2 hobbies that I have. Well, definitely, I guess, makeup, but I don't know if you could still even count it as a hobby because I've gotten so involved with it. But I guess makeup still is like a major hobby. But other than makeup, I would have to say definitely photography. I love photography, and I upload quite a few pictures on Facebook. You can follow me on there. You can check out my photography on there. So I like to update that once in a while with new pictures. And I guess the other hobby, or I don't know if it's even called a hobby, but I guess would be reading, because I love reading, as you can tell from my lit chats and stuff. So that's something I definitely like to spend a lot of time on as well. Okay, question 12 is 2 pet peeves. Okay, so I guess one pet peeve is when you're sharing a house with a male and they leave the toilet seat up. I think that's really gross because I hate touching it. So luckily, like I live with my boyfriend, but luckily there's 2 bathrooms. So I have a bathroom, he has a bathroom, so I never have to do that anymore, which is awesome. And I guess another pet peeve would be people, like when maybe you're meeting somebody new and they just talk about themselves and they're constantly interrupting you, like they don't want to involve you in the conversation and they just completely talk over you. I don't know, I just find that really rude. I don't know if that could be considered a pet peeve, but that's just something I thought of at the top of my head. Like people who are so self-centered that they don't give you the opportunity to participate and they just talk about what they're doing in their life and blah blah blah. And number 13 is guilty pleasure. Probably overindulging. Well, not overindulging, but I've kind of brought this under control since, you know, losing so much weight, but definitely like food. I love cooking. I upload a lot of pictures on Facebook, again, from stuff I cook. I've tried to be, you know, I've definitely tried to scale it down because I used to just be like, whenever I had a craving, I would indulge. So I've definitely kind of brought that more under control, but I think probably still my guilty pleasure is food, and just high quality food, not like junk food and stuff necessarily, or fast food, or I don't really want that stuff so much, but like, you know, really rich, fattening desserts or, you know, things like that that aren't maybe necessarily the most healthy for you, but that taste really good. So I guess that is it for the 13 questions. So if you want to do this tag, I will link the questions below. I'll list them. You can leave a video response to this video if you'd like to do that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.